So can I tell you a pattern that I've noticed? And I'll give a little bit more context because I feel like
I'm a racist.
I feel like I'm about to tell a story. I feel like I'm about to tell a story that I'm going to get in trouble for again. But you know what? Here we go. So,
Quick asterisk right there. Feels like I'm not going to do that again.
yeah, but here I go. Here I go. Guys, so I have lived in India for 6 months. I've been there. I work with Tata, TCS. They're like the big Microsoft that I just said. They're like the Samsung to Korea. Like everything runs off Tata. People don't realize Tata makes computers. They make cars. They make silverware. They make tables. They make everything. Just like the Samsung. So I did a contract with them. It was an agile consulting opportunity with them with multiple teams across Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and I will tell you, Matthew, that the number one takeaway from my 6 months in India was that culture has a scarcity mindset. Do you know what that means? A scarcity mindset. And this is just my opinion. A guy who was there a decade and a half ago, younger man, ignoramus, fine. But when I came back and I told my wife about all this experience, I just said the number one thing that I've amalgamated from this culture is a scarcity mindset. And what I mean by that is that by default, they live in a world where everything they believe is scarce. There is no abundance. Like in America, I think you would be hard pressed to find an individual or person in America that has a scarcity mindset. You can be homeless and have an iPhone. You can be homeless and be given an EBT card of $5,000 on it. Like in America, like you've seen really chunky and overweight homeless people. It's like, how are you getting fed? But in India, living there, riding around on a 125cc autobike, that's what they call them there, autobike. Number one, it's managed chaos. No one obeys any traffic rules. The only thing that you obey is the cow. The cow comes in, like you stop for the cow. You worship the cow. You eat the poo, right? But you will not stop for a red light, but you'll stop for a cow. That's number one. Number two, this is the only country that I've visited many, only country where I saw starving people and I saw dead people on the side of the streets. There is a carelessness, unfortunately, in so much of that culture. And you might say, Peter, you're sorry. No, I'm telling you what I saw. I've been to Korea, Japan, all over Asia, China. I never saw a dead body in Korea. Have you?
Never.
I've never seen a starving body in Japan, in Tokyo. I've never seen a starving body or a naked child that's, I think, is dead in China, Shanghai. But I saw them in Hyderabad. I saw them in Bangalore. And so why does all this context matter? Your experience with those women, they have a scarcity mindset. They think everything's scarce. They need to get everything and grab everything. And you might say, well, Peter, maybe it's because of their upbringing. Maybe it's because of their culture. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is that when I lived in India, I saw two things, a scarcity mindset and deep poverty.
Well, would it be fair to say that the America that we used to be, the America that we aspire to be, and that a lot of us want us to get back to, is a high trust society?
Yes.
I live in an area that is a high trust society. If I leave my car door locked, I'm not worried that someone's going to break into my car. If I leave something out, I'm not worried that someone's going to steal my Amazon package. If anything, they're going to return it to the rightful person, and they will go out of their way to make sure that I get it.
Yes.
Because I live in an area that is a high trust society. India is normalized and almost elevates people who scam.
Yes, that's a big part of their economy. Yes.
Therefore, everyone is always on edge. Everyone is always distrustful of the people around them, and the people that you do business with or the people that are considered your friends, you have to worry about them the most because they can take advantage of you, which is the normalized behavior. So they live in a very low trust society.
That's another way of putting it. Yes, they live in a low trust society and a scarcity mindset, man, where it's like I've seen moments when I was in India when they had the food and they would share it together. Like, of course, they're using their hands because, no one uses utensils there. But the amount of aggressive grabbing of food was just like, not only is it not appealing for me to partake in this with you guys because you guys are all throwing your hands around, but you're grabbing it so aggressively. Like, the food's not going to walk away. Like, who's going to steal your food here? Like, bro, like, aren't we among colleagues and friends? Like, didn't we just have 5 meetings together at the corporation, and now we're having beer and food? Like, why are you guys so aggressive with the food? And it was always this, it was always this, like, me first, me first, me first. And I think if we were, and this isn't everybody, but it was enough where it was like, you know what, this makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't enjoy being within this cultural nuance. And maybe, again, it's because I'm Asian looking and whatever, and maybe that caused some bias or what have you. But it was pretty substantial. It left a mark on me in terms of the amount of poverty, again, and the amount of self-interest and scarcity mindset in India was very, very obvious to me.
India is the #1 country of importing people into the United States.
Currently, right now.
Currently. It's been like that for years.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
You mean the legal means?
Correct.
Yes. The
There
legal
are more legal immigrants from India today, actually double the amount there was 3 years ago.
Yes.
So the amount of people coming from India grow actually almost exponentially. It's over 1 million come from India every year. And right now, America is running into a social crisis, a cultural crisis, where they're trying to figure out how to get back to being a high trust society, more conservative values, more family oriented. And you take this and you throw in a huge group of people that come from a low trust society, and you put them into these kind of more affluent areas, and it's creating chaos everywhere. And that, I think, is why that there are people on the hard right. They're like, no, maybe we should pause in this whole India thing for now.
So would that, you've used some terminology in today's podcast that, I'm not correcting you. I just think it's a little aggressive sometimes. But to be fair and to be 100% honest with everybody out there, I am also a little sensitive right now too. So I'm not pulling any punches, guys. I'm gonna let you know. Like, I'm a little sensitive too. Because we want to be fair about what we talk about, because these are real. You're not lying to me. I know that you had this experience. You know that I had this experience. We got receipts. Like, we're not lying. We're not over exaggerating this stuff here. This is just what we see. And so I think for us as social commentators, the question is, and at least this is where I'm sitting, what line do you sit on? Do you sit on a, hey, stop the bleeding, period, full stop? Or is it okay to have provisions for other individuals or certain select class of people to come in? Where do you sit, Matt? Do you think it's just right now everything's crazy and we just need to stop the bleeding?
I do think we need to stop the bleeding. I think that things are such a mess right now